This is how I changed my life by changing one word. They say we have about 40,000 thoughts every single day. Most of those thoughts are a conversation we're having with ourselves. We're the only ones who live inside our own head 24 hours a day. And yet, if we really listen to that inner dialogue, we realize we are often the harshest ones of our own minds. Today, I want to talk about the art of reframing. It's a quiet practice, but it's powerful. I've learned that changing a single word in your internal vocabulary can completely change your day. It's the difference between a house that feels like a prison and a house that feels like a home. Let's start with a simple word change. Have to is a heavy word. It sounds like a command. It frames our lives as a series of forcing obligations, turning our passions into chores. It traps us in a room where we're constantly being pushed. For a long time, my days were built on these phrases. I have to finish this drawing. I have to reply these emails. I have to be productive. But I started replacing it with a gentler phrase. If I do. Instead of saying I have to something, I say if I do a bit more of this piece today, I'll be one step closer to seeing it finished. And maybe I could get closer what I really want to be as an artist. If I do focuses on the reward, not the burden. It reminds me why I'm doing the work in the first place. It shifts the energy from the stress to vision. You aren't locking yourself in a cage of work. You're showing yourself the door to progress. It's actually a gift to your future self rather than a punishment for your present self. Our brains are wired for survival, not necessarily for happiness. We have what scientists call a negativity bias. From an evolutionary standpoint, it was more important to notice the thorn than the roses. Because of this, our minds naturally gravitate toward what is difficult, what is tiring, and what is wrong. I used to have my days saying today was so hard. I'm so exhausted. But when we focus only on the fatigue, our brain looks for more reason to feel drained. It confirms our exhaustion. Now, I try to call it a rewarding day. Yes, the day asked me a lot of me. And yes, I am tired now. But by calling it rewarding, I'm choosing to phrase the part of me that showed up. I'm choosing to acknowledge that I lived well and worked hard. It's still a small shift, but it turns a moment of burnout into a moment of encouragement. It gives your soul a chance to rest in the satisfaction of effort, rather than the weight of struggle. We often view our life through a binary lens. We think in terms of success or failure, but life rarely happens at 0 or 100. It happens in the space between. Whenever I hit a wall or made a mistake, my first thought used to be, this is a failure. But as we discussed, our brain loves to follow the negative path. If you label something as a failure, your mind treats it as a dead end. It thinks as a fixed point. I've started replacing I failed with I'm learning. It's not just a positive affirmation, it's a truth. Every mistake is just data. It's a point on the spectrum moving toward 100. By saying I'm learning, you keep the door open. You allow yourself the grace to be a work in progress. You realize that you aren't failing. You're simply in the middle of a process that hasn't finished yet. For example, think about a painting in its middle stage. There is almost always a moment where the colors look muddy, the proportion feels off, and the vision seems lost. Artists often call this as an ugly stage. If you stop right there and judge the work, you would call it a failure. But the artist doesn't stop because they know the messy middle stage is a mechanical necessity. It's actually the foundation. It's the layer that has to exist. And I feel like our lives are exactly the same. We often judge our middle by someone else's finished. We label them as zeros because they aren't yet 100. But 10% is still what you did. When you use the word learning instead of failing, you aren't confirming a dead end. You're simply narrating a journey that is still unfolding. By choosing to see the spectrum instead of just the two poles of success and failure, you start to notice the beauty in the not yet. You begin to realize that the person you are becoming is being built in these very moments of struggle. And this struggle isn't a sign that you should stop. It's a sign that you are deep in the work of growing. I know that choosing these words isn't easy. Habits of self-criticism are deep, and the world around us often rewards the loud and the harsh. But I come to realize that changing how we speak to ourselves is the ultimate act of self-prioritization. We spend our entire lives constantly evaluating, judging, and narrating every move we make. It's an endless internal dialogue. When we stay trapped in our negative languages, we're essentially building a cold, cramped house for our souls to live in. But when we choose to tell ourselves a kinder story, one filled with grace and possibility, we're creating a much warmer world from the inside out. Giving yourself a perspective of grace is the greatest gift you can offer to yourself. It's a decision to stop being your own harshest critic and start being your own most supportive friend. It's not a change that happens in a single afternoon. It takes practice. It's about catching yourself in the middle of have to and gently turning into if I do. It's about noticing the failure and renaming as learning. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being intentional. It won't always be easy, but we can start small. We can practice one word at a time until the atmosphere of our lives begin to shift. And you deserve to live in a world that feels safe, and that world begins with the voice inside you. We become the stories we tell ourselves. If we tell ourselves that life is a series of have-tos and failures, we will always feel tired. I know it isn't easy to change the way you talk to yourself, but I want to encourage you to choose what helps you. Prioritize your peace. When you change your words, you change your attitude toward your day and eventually your attitude toward your entire life. You will start to see a version of yourself that is capable of growing and worthy of kindness. Before you go, I want to ask you, what is one word you've been using that makes you feel tired? How can you reframe it into a warm hug today? Take a breath, speak gently to your heart, and remember that you are more than these words. Stay soft, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!